Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Monday night Zoom edition. We had a slight dip of Bitcoin and Ethereum yesterday and today. So let's go to the charts and check it out. Not sure if we have a significant reason for this other than just things are kind of accumulating and we're towards the maybe bottom side of the accumulation phase if it stays in the range, towards the higher end of this range. I adjusted this range a couple weeks ago. We broke through the 29.5 that we were stuck at for a long time, and we had a couple closes at or near 30K, but not yesterday. We dipped below. Actually, we did close below at 30K yesterday, but it does look like we're going to dip below that for a close today, down about 2.5–3%. And hello to Shane on the chat. All right, so that's what's going on with Bitcoin, at least just on the price side. On Ethereum, I set up a new range, and the bottom is around 1400. The top is just below 3K, around 2950, and we're sort of in the middle of that range. We're going to see if Bitcoin did close, Ethereum closed above 2100 yesterday, but I don't think it's going to claim that today. Maybe if we get a little pump in the last 45–50 minutes. So it looks like we're hanging around 2000, 2100 in that range for Ethereum. Yeah, again, I don't recall any significant news over the weekend. If you guys heard something that I didn't, feel free to share. Any comments or questions about the markets overall, Bitcoin and Ethereum? Anything else? Okay, well, it's a Monday afternoon, early evening. Let's see if we can find some trades. Let's go over to Altcoin Alert. And I am on the altcoin radar search. Got availability of all the sorts, all the columns. So I usually start with my AA scores. Looking for values of 80% or higher. Those tend to have the highest success rate, but I will fudge a little and go in the high 70s. I did add my high 70s has dipped. I was into Audius earlier this morning. It's dipped down to 76.6. I've got it up here, so let's just go ahead and look at it since it's convenient. Okay, mostly sideways since I looked at this this morning. Maybe this was a bad choice. Between the Bollinger Bands, okay, it's better than we think. It's got 4%. It had this big spike that's really skewed everything on this chart. So the movement's better than it looks. On the 5-minute chart, and if I move it over to the left a little bit, it'll look more normal. Towards the top of the Bollinger Band above the SMA line, not where I like to get in. Do have some price support here right around 36, 37 cents. That could be a place for a price alert. Quick review, right click for a price alert, add alert. 37 cents. And AA score purchase, question mark. So if this alert goes off, go ahead and reevaluate your situation at the time. If it's, plunging, you don't want to catch a dropping knife, but if it's could be in the second or third dip of a 1, 2, 3 dip, that could be a good time to get in. Okay, as you know, I prefer alerts on the 15-minute chart with indicators. So all of them are going to be kind of skewed by this huge pump it had. On Sunday afternoon. Yeah, this went up 56, 57% in about an hour and a half. So that's a huge move, even for an altcoin. So would any of our divergences have caught that? No, you would have been trashed if you went with bearish divergence here. That's probably a liquidation or but if you have some money management skills, or if you're trading, well, you wouldn't trade spot on short. let's say you got in here, up 50%, but it gave almost all of it back. So, with some ladder buying and some things like that, you could probably eke out a profit, or you just set a stop loss and maybe take a loss on that one. But we're not here to show you how to do losses. So, well, actually, quick look for any of the bullish divergences would have worked out really well. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff there. All above 4%. And again, divergence is a disagreement between the price action and the indicator. So we have bearish divergence when the candle action is up, but the indicator is pointing down. It has some predictive value. It's far from perfect, but I find it to be pretty good. And if we want to go with the trend, got super trend here. And let's see, had you taken the short before the pump? I was looking at this earlier. If you went for something modest, yeah, most people are going to go for at least 1% on a chart. So you would have been stuck in this on that short. The buys look good. This one remains to be seen. This one triggered about an hour or so ago. So I think I went with super trend on this one. And that's an easy alert set. Right click, add alert. On the spot side, you'll just go with the buy alert. I like the direction change. I usually trade both directions. If I'm committed to one direction, buy or sell, then I'll choose that one. Once per bar close, keeps it on all day until you turn it off. And again, I like the information source for my alert name. I already got that one going, so I'll turn it off. Okay, and then the other thing I've been doing is the 1, 2, 3 dip RSI approach. Let's go through that. Yeah, that's the right layout. Audio. All right, you can see I've got my rectangle there. What I'm looking to do is to find pumps and dips actually. So let's see a dip here. Yeah, we have got a dip here on Saturday night, drops below the 30 value on the RSI, and then comes back up again. So that alert would have triggered right about here. And there's a slight dip, and then it shoots up, 3%. That's a really good day trade. And on the other direction, I think this one would have triggered on the downside right about here, probably this one here. And yeah, 1.7%. Yeah, Kevin responded. Well, talk about that in the next Zoom. So that would have been a pretty good leverage trade if you're on 5x or 10x. And how you do these alerts, if you're going both directions, right click on the RSI, add alert, and you can do crossing up on the 30, and that would help you get those dips that I just showed you. If you want to go both directions, dips and pumps, then I like this approach, entering a channel. And so you want it to go up above the 70, then come back in and hit the channel. And the same thing on the dip side. We want to dip below the 30 and then come back up. So entering the channel, 70 and 30, once per bar close. And again, that's going to be your AA score. That's what we've been looking at. That's how you do that. Obviously, I have that one set up already, so I'm going to cancel this. If I went through that too fast, let me know, and I can do another example and slow it down. Okay, well, those are my suggested approaches on how to get a good entry on audio based on the AA score information. Any questions on that?
You're
Okay.
saying pumps and dips on the RSI?
Yes.
So on the dip, you're just looking for that pattern. Okay.
Right. Below the 30, like right here, coming back up. So we have that dip below
Yep.
the 30, comes back up here or here. You know, either one of these would have been good entries, and you get this move up here. So you're out of that in, you know, a few hours. So that's the kind of thing we're looking for with this strategy.
Does the MACD give you information on whether it's overbought or oversold?
No, that's the RSI is the best for that. MACD is has to do with moving averages and momentum and things like that. I will use it as a confirmation from time to time, but and actually I put it on this chart for that reason. But I found it confirms most of the time. It tends to run a little later than I would like. I might have to mess around with its with some of the inputs, but I haven't done that yet. Okay, any other questions on this before we do another sort? All right, because that was our AA score sort. I've been also using social activity. I'll probably keep giving John credit for this as long as he attends my show. Okay, I'm looking for fire or a thumbs up on both social activity and trading activity. Social activity is what people are talking about online, usually Twitter. Trading activity is talking about the volume of that coin. We've got a similar approach with long-term sentiment and elder impulse. I'll talk about that in a moment. If you've been on my Zoom before, you've heard me talk about both of these. I've got fire on social activity on Bella, on social activity and trading activity. It's up 22% today. That's a little much. Might be too late for that one. Cody is up 11% and fire on both. That might be a better candidate. So let's check out that one. Okay, on the 5-minute chart, trending up. Sitting on the SMA line, Bollinger Bands, not great. So I don't really have a good entry at the moment. Not seeing some support here. It's not real well defined. Just under 10 cents. Again, here we're pretty close to 10.33 cents. So those could be candidates for price alerts in addition to this one. Might take longer to get down to 9.88 cents. On our indicators, divergence, this looks pretty good. The bearish ones, this one here, down 1.6%. Down over here, another couple percent. This bullish one goes up nicely. This bearish one drops. This is what we like. But these last two, we don't know yet. This is from this morning. Yeah, you'd probably still be in that trade. So we don't know. But the divergences prior to these two look good. And again, if you're using this divergence from any indicators version 4, alerts are easy on this. Right click and choose, if you're trading spot, use positive. If you're trading both directions, you have to do one of each, one positive and one negative, once per bar close. And this will be your social activity sort. And there you go. I've already got a bunch of alerts today, so I'm going to keep the ones I have for now. This one looks pretty good on divergence. Let's check it on supertrend. Supertrend, last three have worked out really well. This one, not so much. So we had a buy trigger on Saturday night, a sell on Sunday afternoon, and a buy just before a big pump at midnight. So those three look good. And it's easy to set alerts on Supertrend, buy, sell, or direction change. Okay. On our 1, 2, 3 dip pump, the 15-minute chart. These pumps, if I put you in too early, this is where sometimes you'll miss some trades, but the MACD can be helpful for confirmation. Like this one's dipping on the RSI, but trending up on the MACD, and the MACD was right. And when the MACD crosses right about here, that's a better entry than these drops here. So yeah, you eventually get down to 3.5% on that one. So that's good stuff. It's multiple RSI triggers here. The last one obviously is the best one. Get an RSI trigger here, confirmation right about here, and then a nice move up. So you'll, at least on this chart, it looks like the MACD is a better predictor than the RSI is. The RSI will put you in earlier, but sometimes it'll be a fake out instead of a breakout. And then lastly, we've got this drop here that really goes against us. But again, the MACD did not confirm. MACD does not confirm this drop till right about here, but then it pumps up again. So I think of all the ones we looked at, the super trend was probably the best, but they had three wins in a row. Any questions on the Cody setup, 1, 2, 3 dip pump, or the other options? Okay, we're pretty good on time. We will look at another altcoin alert sort. Take a quick look at 1 hour projected range. I like this for short-term trading, scalping. And usually I want like 3 or 4% or higher in this middle value. I'm not seeing that except for this MFT. I don't know if I can trade that on leverage or not. It is to the upside. Sometimes if I'm looking for a short, I'll do this. I'll sort it negatively, see if I have a big drop. I'm not really seeing any of those on something I can trade with. Lena, that might be on Bybit. We'll keep it on the long side for now. MFT, vaguely recall that one. Let's check it out. It is only on BitGet on spot. That's pretty limiting. I don't think we're going to look at that. What was the other one? Yeah, I just don't think we have a good option here on this sort. Let's move over to long-term sentiment. Has some similarities to the last one we looked at, social activity and trading activity. You can hover over here, the question mark, to find out exactly what it is. But this is the Twitter data, what people are talking about. And Elder Impulse is a combination of technical signals. When these two align, I want to look at it closer. So render is flagged here. Cody we looked at, audio we looked at. Let's look at render. Just something I've traded a couple times recently. Okay, on the 5 minute. not in a dip sequence, but towards the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, nice distance between them. A little mini dip here. This could be the beginning of a dip sequence. One could be the first of three. But again, we're looking at this a little too soon. In this vicinity looks like a good place for a price alert. $1.92 to $1.90. That could be a good place to get in. On our 15-minute chart and our indicators, divergence. Not bad. Yeah, 1%. So these three would have been profitable if you're only looking for 1%. This one's obviously really good. All the rest are shorts. When something's trending up, you'll get it's a contrarian approach. So, when the market's trending up, you'll get the bearish divergence and vice versa when it's trending down, which is why I like looking at supertrend as well. 3% drop here. I'm not going to go through all these, but this one goes up and then drops 2% here. Most of them have, except this one, they have 1% or more drops. This one, you might ladder buy in once and then get out right around here. So all those look pretty good. On divergence, on supertrend, we haven't had a new signal since yesterday early morning. That's the downside of supertrend, I think. And then the buy signal was good. The sell one, that might have been profitable. Maybe if you're at that 1%. But all the other signals look pretty good. They just don't trigger very much. So I like to see a little more signal action than that. Okay, on my other setup on the 1, 2, 3. Pump dump. Okay, I have set this one up today, but yeah, I think I traded this one and did okay with it. Yeah, this one triggered at around 11 o'clock this morning. I took this trade and yeah, I did really well. And this is another time where it triggered up in this vicinity last night, did really well. As you can see, I brought up, instead of going 30, I think this one's 33, because it was only dipping down. The last dips were didn't make it all the way to 30. So let's look at my alert on this. Yeah, 33 is my lower bound and 70 up on top. So I do that to catch some of these not quite dips. The downside is if it drops, you don't get as good of an entry, but I think it's worth it to get more trades. So yeah, this render setup I like a lot. Any questions on this one?
Yeah, CJ, so you do that more like a safety net, just instead of the bound at 30, you said 33, just a little bit more. That's what you're like that margin.
Well, safety is not the issue. I'm trying to get more trades, because if you see these three in a row drop down and then it had a nice move up. So I'm looking back when I decide where I want to put my alerts. And so all I have is the past information. I can't predict the future. So when I see this, it doesn't quite make it to 30, and it does that 3 times. Actually, I should have moved it up a little bit more to 35, but these are all potential entries on this little dip down here, and then catch that move up. So had I used 30, I wouldn't have, none of these would have triggered. So that's why I do that. I'm trying to catch more trades. Is the idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions on this or Altcoin Alert? I'm going to head over to iCoinPro next. All right. Let's go over to iCoinPro, the home of the 1-2-3 dip. And most of you guys have seen that video. I talk about this strategy with some frequency. So we're going to look at a couple tools that iCoinPro has that'll help you find these kind of trades. The two I like the most are the RSI SPY and the Buddy Coin Crawler. With the RSI SPY, I'm going to sort by the 1 hour RSI. So this will give me values. This will flag in green values that have dropped below 30. And in that situation, like I've talked about, they're due for a comeback. That's your dip before the pump. So at the moment, we've got a couple of Bitcoin pairs, which I don't trade, and Monero XMR. I looked at this before. This is so pokey. It's moving so slowly that getting 1% even on a 15-minute chart is difficult. So I have excluded that one. And we don't really have any good candidates to look at on the 1 hour RSI on the dip side. On the pump side, Cody we've looked at already. Mana I like. Bella Protocol I've traded before, and then Lena. Could look for a short. I do that on Fridays sometimes, but on this one I like to keep it focused on the longs for those of you guys who are spot trading. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass on looking at an RSI SPY candidate today. When I see something like XMR that's not moving much, that makes me want to go over to the Buddy Coin Crawler, which will tell me what is moving today. And I'm going to sort this by average low to SMA. And the low is a 24-hour low. The SMA is that red line you see between the Bollinger Bands on my charts. So when I see something about 4% or higher, I want to look at that some more. And Rocket Pool I thought was a really good potential spot trade. It's nearly 5% today, so it's got some room to move. Let's look at that one. I think you can trade this on Coinbase. I'll bring up that chart. On the 5-minute, looking kind of squeezy. Yeah, 2% between the Bollinger Bands. Kind of close to where the support would be. Looks like it's between 54.50 and 53.80 in this vicinity. Maybe $54 would be a good place for a price alert. On the 15-minute chart, look for some bullish divergence. And this one did okay, looks like. It dipped 3% and shot up 4%. We like that. This one did really well. 2.6%, not bad. You pile up enough 1%, 2%, 3% moves, your balance will grow. The power of compounding. Okay, so on this one, you go right click, divergence. Instead of negative, you go positive. Once per bar close, and this is Buddy Coin Crawler is what I would do with that one. Okay. How about the trend? Can we catch a super trend? Not great. This one was really good from Saturday afternoon. This one is not good. Maybe ladder buy on something like this. You get in here, drop 8%, ladder buy it maybe, maybe every 2% if you're aggressive, 5 to 10% if you're giving it some room to breathe. Then it shoots up here. Had you done that at 5%, you would have been out with a small loss on your first position, but a nice gain on your second one for an overall profit. If you want to learn more about the techniques of ladder buying or dollar cost averaging, look at some of my videos from 2020 and 2021 where I talk about that strategy in some detail. Okay. So had you not taken that trade, maybe you have better things to do on a Sunday night, but you get this one, 8:45 on Monday morning. Yeah, you make that move there, 3% or almost 4%. So that's a good one. So super trend's not bad on here. Let's look at it on the pump dump layout. Layout. Okay. And here we have a dip to about the 33 level, 34. This one drops below the 30, as does this one. So I might go with the 30 on my alert, and both of those would have been really good entries. This one, probably get in right about here. And you're up 2% pretty quickly. This one's better. Get in about here. And, 6%. For an exit, I probably would have looked at this resistance here. Around 4.5%. And so pick that up in less than 3 hours. That's a really good day trade. Okay, any questions on Rocket Pool? All right, let's look at one more Buddy Coin Crawler candidate if we have one. Most of these I haven't heard of. C98. We're getting below 4%. INJ I've traded. Let's take a quick look at that one. I think that one's on leverage as well, if you want to go that route. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's a little dippy right now. Bollinger Bands are pretty good. It's just kind of sloughing down, like it's falling down a staircase slowly. Not even sure where you'd put a price alert. Had some support earlier this morning, around 887, kind of close to that now. So not loving that. On the 15-minute chart, divergence looks really good. Divergence is loving this. Is perfect for that, except this one here on Saturday afternoon. But the rest of these are really good moves. You get in here on this one, almost 3%. Same again, the direction. This kind of seesawing as we love. Just love this as day traders. So divergence looks really good. I have to come back and set that one up. Let's look at super trend. Not many signals. There's a buy signal from Saturday morning. You don't get a sell signal till Monday in the wee hours. But all of these are profitable. 2% on that sell. This one we don't know yet. The sell triggered at noon, my time. And not quite 1% yet. So super trend looks good too. Not as many signals, but I really like the action I saw in divergence though. I think that's what I would do with this one. And then on the dip and pump approach, okay, a few pumps here, drops. Can't quite tell. I think it would have gotten in here. Yeah, as long as you're just going for 1% on the shorts, all these are good. That one's good. This one's good. This one doesn't quite trigger. And then I don't think, yeah, we don't have a dip below the 30 since Friday late night. So yeah, going all the way up to 38, that's kind of risky. Catch this one at 30. You set it yours at maybe 33, 34. 35 is the highest I go on the bottom side on my RSI alerts. General, I don't think I've ever done one higher than that. But all these look pretty good on the RSI as well. So Yeah, Injective is doing some nice up and down action, and that's, you can pile up some profits that way as a day trader. So, okay, any questions on this one? Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to throw an alert. Crossing. We're going to do our entering channel. We're going to go 70. Lower bound 34. Once per bar close. That was Buddy Coin Crawler. And there I go. Well, we're at 40 minutes. Pretty good place to wrap up. Any questions on anything you've seen on Altcoin Alert, iCoinPro, day trading, strategies, alerts? Wow, is my instructions so amazing that nobody has questions?
No, you are a very good host, CJ.
Well, thank you, Frankie.
You're welcome.
And I got lunch. I got lunch next time since you said that. So
Got it, buddy. I'll keep saying it every day.
All right, guys. I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. If you're watching on the recording, I appreciate that. Hopefully you'll see you live next time. Check out the opportunities listed in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. And if you are a Carbon member, especially a beta tester, stick around. We'll start that one next. See you next time.